Hello everybody and welcome back to More Virtual Bus. It's me, More Central, More Bus Videos, and now More Virtual Bus. I'm the same person, yeah, it's pretty cool. And welcome to Retford Bus Station in Lincolnshire version 4. That's what we're currently on. Version 5 is currently in production. I am one of the very, very lucky people doing a bit of testing and a bit behind the scenes with version 5. I can tell you that there is some very exciting stuff coming in version 5. I can't tell you what yet, but I can tell you there's some exciting bits and what have. And I can tell you that some of this expansion, some of the exciting stuff is around here in Retford. So that's why we are driving around here today. So in front of us, we have a vehicle that is new to the channel, or new to the And More group, as it's a bus that I haven't actually included, but my very good friends at Studio Polygon kindly sent me over a copy of this to have a little drive with and eventually get the video out of. And now we've got a few repaints. It's been a few weeks since this bus was out. We've had a recent update as well to enhance the vehicle. I thought it was a perfect time to get a run-in with this bus. So in front of us, I believe, is First South Wales Stagecoach on the front. Stagecoach South Wales 43013 SK17 HHJ. That is a wheel forward Streetlite. It is a, I believe, 9.8 metre one, so one of the longer variations. They also do 8.8 metre smaller ones. And today we're going to take this on the 47 bus service. So we'll get the timer cancelled out, which takes us from here round one of the estates, around the Holcroft estate and back into Retford bus station. It's taken us in total 22 minutes. So I'm going to get the blinds set up. I'm going to see if they work on here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holcroft circular, not that one. Oh, not that one. Wrong one. We're on the 47A. We don't have to be on the 47A. 1, 6, 7. That's us. Excellent stuff. Retford Town Service. So, with that in mind, we will get some interior lights on. I know it is a nice bright day, but we'll still have them on. And we'll depart from the layover onto stand. Now, the first thing that you find with driving this, as you can see, is getting used to the angles and where you're sat, because you are actually sat quite far back and quite far down on this in comparison to your dashboard and the front of your vehicle, because you're you're not, the difference between an Optare Solo and one of these, having driven many Optare Solos and a couple of these in real life, is the Optare Solo, you are literally sat on your front axle. With the wheel forward Streetlite, you're actually sat a little bit further behind the front axle, only slightly, but you are sat a little bit further behind, and that drastically changes your point of view, your angling, your perception, and your pre-planning when you're driving. So you can't just jump straight out of a Solo, straight into one of these and assume it's the same, because it is totally different. The size variations as well that are offered for the wheel forward Streetlite are totally different to the ones offered for the Optare Solo. So again, you've got all of these different dimensions to consider. So it's like with this, you've got this absolutely huge area. Don't walk up to me, I'm on my way, don't worry, I'm on my way. I mean, I'm trying to get as close as I can. There we go, that'll have to do. But as you see, you've got all that space, but it looks like you're right up to the front of it. And that's because of this bit here. So as you can see, your axle's there, and you are actually sat just a little bit further behind than like a Solo where you are on your axle. So again, there is that little bit of a further distance. You are also sat a bit higher up than you are with a Solo, but it's still a bit lower down than your dashboard, so it's still difficult to see out of. And as you can see, the cab layout, you look like you're a million miles above everybody else. So it's just a weird thing to get used to. This is put into context with the Studio Polygon backpack that you can either have in your cab or you can chuck it down there. So this is only the second time that I have driven this in OMSI. So although I have driven these in real life, and I haven't even clicked the button on the machine, there we go. On that one. There we go. Sorted. So although I've driven these in real life, again, driving in OMSI can be totally different. Sometimes it's very similar, sometimes it is totally different. This is one of these that is totally different because when I drive these, I have my cab seat quite high up. This cab position's very low, and again, you got to remember how much you've got in front of you, but also remember that when you think you're close to something, you've actually got a little bit more space. I mean, I've been driving quite recently a Mercedes Cheetah XL coach that is sort of like built like a truck with seats in it. So that's really high up, and you think you're a lot closer to things than you actually are. Very similar case with this. Very, very similar case. So as I say, this vehicle is available to purchase from Studio Polygon. Thank you to the friend of the team that I get along with at Studio Polygon for letting me have a copy of the vehicle to drive with and to showcase. Always appreciated. The repaint pack, as well, has been done separately and is available to download for free off the Fellows Film forums. There are a few other repaints and bits. Initially, I was going to drive in the new Stagecoach colours, but for some reason I just couldn't get the repaint to load up. So I decided to choose this, and to be fair, it does actually go with the vibe of what you'd expect, especially a few years ago from around the likes of Retford, where you've got these sort of patchwork delivery vehicles running around because they are sort of like the likes of Gainsborough Depot and stuff like that are a little bit more external to sort of the other places like Lincoln where buses get painted. So, yeah, this is the kind of thing you definitely could have expected in this state a few years ago. And you could have also expected random stuff like this, to be fair, because these are random vehicles on fleets. It wouldn't surprise me. It still wouldn't surprise me, to be quite honest, if you do get one of these. I believe, judging by the interior on this one and the sister vehicle 12, they're both depicted now in OMSI 2, in this repaint pack, do look like they were second-hand purchases, thus the seating, and probably thus the state of the repaint into beach ball that has sort of had a bit of patchwork, and then how these stickers have just been slapped on, like the "Please Let the Buses Out" sticker is sideways. People getting off, or is that just randomly dinging now? Okay, the bell stuck on. We can deal with that. I was like, I understand that there's one person, but not two. Come on. There we go. So the 47 in real life is a housing estate circular service that uses one bus. I believe the bus still does the first 99 of the day at 7:30. It does a 25 in a workshop service. Does that in to Doncaster, then comes out as a 7:99, and then goes on to 47s for the day. Usually allocated to double decker. Used to be Venice Trident back in the day. Now it's an E400 or Trident 2 E400. An ex-Manchester example. See what I mean? It does look a lot closer than things actually are. And then when you bounce as well, you just disappear within the cab. I would like it to be a little bit of a higher up cab position, I'm going to be entirely honest. Oh, that was a junction. Oh, okay. Again, that's why it's a bit of an issue having a cab position like that, because you don't necessarily see everything. I do think it's good having this in game though. It is really cool as an addition. Really is cool. As I say, especially as someone that has driven one of these, I am hoping that at some point someone does make a South Pennine repaint, because that would be really cool. Because I have driven, I believe, 2 out of, I want to say, the 3 that South Pennine have. I think it's 3 that they have. 310 to 312. I believe I've driven 310 and 312, not 311. So it would be pretty cool. Pretty cool to be able to actually have a drive of one of them in the virtual world. That was pretty awesome. I'm a mile off that curve. It takes a lot to get used to these. The sounds are pretty nice as well. It does still have the Daimler and the Cummins options. There's also TFL specs, and quite recently a TFL repaint pack's come out, so you can use the TFL specs with accurate repaints and what this will actually do. I do feel like a trip to Add-on London or possibly on the TFL network on Bodenham is definitely on the cards to drive the London spec. Yeah, goodness me. It takes a lot of getting used to this. Definitely takes a lot of getting used to driving one of these. Yeah, so the difference between the 47 and 47A is I believe they do a slight loop into the estate in a different way, and then the other one does that route out sort of thing. And then I think around this main core section they do follow each other. So bit of an odd one. I haven't quite got my head around it, and that is also coming from someone that has actually been on the routes in real life around Retford, and I still haven't got my head around it. I have actually done the Hallcroft loop on the 47 before, and I still could not tell you where I went. I just saw a Trident, and I thought, I won't mind a ride on the Trident, and that was about it. So there is quite a few repaints for this, just as a heads up. Now, I had a good look before filming this, just to see if there was anything else I wanted to give it a go with as well. And I must say there are some absolutely tremendous repaints out there. We seem to very recently on Fellas Film have this random splurge of repaints. We seem to go through periods where we have absolutely nothing, which is then followed by other periods where we then get absolutely tons of repaints. Yes, I know that they do take time to approve, and they'll get approved in clumps and bits like that, but we do just seem to go through weeks where we'll have nothing, and then a week like this week I'm filming this where we've had about 10 repaints released. Just so random. By the looks of it, I think we go around there and then we'll come back. Steering lock is also not good on these, just like they are in real life. They have a surprisingly shocking steering lock. To say how small they are, I mean the ADL MMCs and they have a superb steering lock on the little mini MMCs. The bigger ones is not really not good. But the little midi MMCs, the steering lock is just like it is in the game, just spot on steering lock. Your solos, it's a miss, they're usually about mid, but these have to have, to say how small they are as well, have to have the most shocking steering lock for small bus I've ever known. Seriously do. And I'm glad that that is reflected in Omden. I am very glad that that is reflected in Omden. Adds that additional level of realism that we like. And we're doing alright for time, actually. Pretty much bang on. I'm going to be here a bit by the looks of it. That was just constant. There we go, that's how you pull out of the junction. I was holding my breath because I genuinely thought that van was just going to drive into me. But it behaved. It was nice. AI traffic actually behaved me. Definitely a rarity. Now, I do like services like this where you start going down all these little tight, windy roads and you don't quite know which random estate road you're going to go down next. And just, it's really exciting. I think this is the main Holcroft loop, and then we go back, do the other bit that we've just done in a ever so slightly different order. So I don't think coming back, we don't do the main part of the estate in that one we've just been in, if I remember correctly. But the 47A comes direct pretty much, and then does that going back. So that's how the differentiation is with these, if I remember correctly. They just do that estate in different orders, different ways. Just keeps it exciting, I suppose, because if everything did the same, it'd be boring. And I would imagine it also wouldn't fit into a full 60-minute loop with the other estates that this route has in real life. I'll tell you something else I really do like with this livery is I absolutely love that it's got all the panel work in. I just think that inclusion of getting all the different panels and the muck and the grime that you realistically have with the panels, I think is absolutely awesome. And that, as a screenshot, is absolutely beautiful. That is absolutely cracking. I will definitely take that. Love the sunlight as well. Makes a change. And there's the East Coast main line to our left. It must be a bit annoying living here, I'm going to be honest. Unless you're into trains. Unless you're into trains, I can't imagine it is the most pleasant thing in the world. Oh, I'm going to have to go on the curb because of you now. Oh no. No, we're just a bit of tyre scrub and we got round. So now I have driven the last few videos with rather small buses. We started off with the 10.8 metre Streetlite in the new first bus colours. We've then done the little E200 MMC 8.9 metre, and now we're doing a little wheel forward Streetlite. The next video will involve a big bus. Do send in your suggestions, do comment your ideas, all of that lot. I don't know when the next video is. We don't, as I say, in this channel we don't schedule them, we just do them as and when. Yeah, do send in your suggestions for what you'd like to see, and the usual video reminder that I do have an email address, amc.animalcentral@gmail.com. It is in the description below if you would like to send me any of the repaints you've made, any buses you're working on, any maps you've made, anything like that for OMSI 2 or other simulator games that I do play, like Train Simulator for example. If you've got anything like that that you'd like me to showcase, have a little nosy at, then please do pop us an email with the files and bits like that. And I'll have a little nosy and see if I can fit them into a video. How are we doing for time? We are pretty much on time, and that's a human. There we go, let's stop. Let the human on the board. Yeah, just like I'm in real life, I mean, the model itself from the two is absolutely, like, stunning. The model is stunning, the design's stunning, the accuracy is stunning. But the accuracy of it is that good that just like in real life, I absolutely hate driving these. It's actually quite funny that Studio Polygon, my good friends at Studio Polygon, have made this bus that accurate that I hate driving it as much as I hate driving the real life one. So I do think it's pretty spot on. I'm gonna be honest, pretty spot on. Because as I say, the cab position, the angling, everything is perfect. And it's why I genuinely hate driving these in real life. That I do think it's pretty funny, to be fair. I really do think it's pretty funny. Just as I say, it's your fact that you're not sat on your front axle, you're actually sat behind it. Thus why you end up with all this extra space. When you've got like a car or something like that, it's fine. But and you own your car, you get used to it. But when you're driving in real life and you've done a 3-hour piece in a dart, and you jump into one of these afterwards, it takes so long to get used to it. We're just going to have to cut in front of someone here, I think, because the traffic's gone a little bit bonkers today. Don't know what I've got the settings on to, we just can't get onto the main road. This is bonkers. There isn't even a gap for me to like pull into the middle on here. I'm gonna just have to go after this white van and just hope that the other van stops, I think. Oh my goodness me, we're never getting out of here. We actually are not getting out of here. It's not even this busy in real life, is this? What is going on? Oh, that's a big gap. No, don't slow down. No, don't slow down. Sorry, Prius. You're gonna have to get cut up, I'm afraid. Sorry. We had to get out at some point today. And that was the biggest gap I've had. Yep, and then the 47A does that estate that we did on the way up. And now we go direct on the main road. That I believe in real life the 99 goes down and the 29 goes down as well. On our way back into the Retford. And just like in real life, these little wheel forwards, as a passenger I love them, it's just as a driver I dislike them. But as a passenger you can sit at the back of these wheel forwards and oh my goodness me, the gearbox on them can just go mental. If you get a good one and a good setup on one, I mean, I remember the first one I went on was with D&G bus, out of Altrincham actually, on the 88 service. And I left at Altrincham and got it down to like near the border and then crossed over and got another one back. Oh my goodness me, the one that I got down, that was one of the, still to this day, one of the best buses I've genuinely been on, full stop. That you're like, oh my gosh, I'm on about a Streetlite, yes. It sounded absolutely phenomenal. And it was healthy as well, there wasn't any issues, it wasn't like a blown exhaust or anything like that, or turbo whistling, it was just, the engine were just doing its thing and it was just beautiful. Kickdowns galore and everything, again another positive of these do a kickdown, but it's just the cab position. I just really cannot stand the cab position, and I know there's quite a lot of people watching, even bus drivers that won't have the opportunity to drive one of these in real life, and I'm telling you now, this position that you drive in this, and you think, oh my goodness, this is an absolute pain. This is exactly what they are like to drive. Again, hats off to Studio Polygon for the level of accuracy. I cannot fault how accurate this model is. The model is absolutely perfect. It's just the bus. It's just vile to drive in real life. And really is unfortunately why they were never that popular. Why they were never that popular. That, as I say, is such a shame. But how close are we to that? We're about to hit a bollard. Bloody bolts. And this is smaller than the other stuff I take round here. There we go. We did quite well on that circular, quite a busy run. See, this bit, I don't even need to look at the arrows because having been to Retford quite a few times, I know exactly where I'm going. And I know that was a bit cheeky of me, but smooth. We made it, we did it. Not as smooth as I was hoping to, but we did it. So, I saw an opportunity and I went for it. I just thought that the vehicle would be ever so slightly nippier than it was. I need to change my blind actually, I've just realised, because if I go in with the blind on, I've not changed it on the device up there, I've just changed it the cheap way. If I don't change it, everyone's going to try and run up to the bus and go, I want to get on, I want to get on. So there we go, so we did alright with that. So we'll go and park back up in the stand that we were in. I do think it looks cool, like as I say, the grime at the front, like this has got to be one of the best stagecoach beach ball repaints out there because it has that realism on it, it has the grime, it has the muck between the panels on it. It has absolutely everything that you would expect with a working bus in a livery when it hasn't been freshly painted. It is pretty cool as this repaint pack. Oh, it's Highlands. My apologies. It's not. Yeah, it's not Wales. It's Highlands. That'll explain the interior because I would imagine this has come from D&E Bus, and this was a D&E Bus purchase. I would imagine someone will be able to correct me in the comments. Thus why the beach ball isn't perfect as well. But I do also love how the Highland County buses and lettering, the legal lettering, this is the accuracy they've gone to, is slanted. And it is also pretty awesome. But yeah, this is a Scotland one, it isn't a Welsh one, but they do have these in Wales as well. With all that said and done though, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have done, as usual, do make sure you click that like button, because that way more people can find the video and enjoy it just like you have, and we can allow the channel to grow. And if you have just found us and you got to this point, then do make sure you subscribe as well, so you don't miss out on more exciting content and all of my AMC and more central live stuff as well. All of the AMC live is always quite exciting. Once again though, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one I make. Bye for now. Bye.